What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Keith, back with another weekly analysis. Today is Sunday, December 21st, 2025. We're going to do our weekly analysis, stocks and futures for the week of December 22nd through the 26th. Okay. All right. Really don't got too much to say before we get into the charts. I think it's really just get to the charts. Yeah, I am a little bit later with this stream today because I was watching them dang Ravens play, and we let the Patriots come back and win the game, man. But yeah, we finna go and get into the charts. I really ain't got nothing to say too much. Other than y'all know, of course, the market will be closed on Christmas, which is Thursday. Um, I think we're open on Friday, and I think Thursday we just close at like 1 p.m. I mean Wednesday we close at 1 p.m. Christmas Eve. But other than that, I think we're good to go. So really, I think just one day not being able to trade options at least, or the market being closed. So now let's get into this economic calendar going into this week. What is up? Okay, actually I gotta move it over a little bit. I forgot for this. I gotta move it over. Okay. For this week, um, of course, like I said, this is the economic calendar. If you want to know what calendar I use investing.com. I put it on 3-Star News, USD only. And yeah, that's how we get our calendars. We only look for the key 3-Star News days. So that's why our calendar looks a lot short compared to a lot of other calendars. Now, coming into this week, Monday, December 22nd, we have it's scheduled PCE on Monday at 9 a.m. I believe this is the PCE that was supposed to come out Friday, but they end up pushing it back. So we'll have to see if it actually will come out tomorrow. Or will it get pushed back again? Excuse me. But that's the only thing we got set up. Like I told y'all for Friday last week, I was saying, hey, PCE is huge though. It can be the only thing that come out that day, and they literally can push the market either up or down extremely hard. So definitely look out for this Monday. And it's the start of the week. Y'all know market might be trying to push to a certain area real quick on Monday. So um, definitely be on the lookout for Monday. Monday definitely should be a nice volatility day, I believe. Especially if PCE can come out. Tuesday, December 23rd, we have at 7:30 durable goods, GDP. 9 a.m. we got consumer confidence. At what was that? 2? Oh, that's some weird times. 201, 202, 203. New home sales. Um, honestly, it's look like Tuesday gonna be Tuesday gonna be some work, man. 7:30, basically 7:30 all through the day. Only break we got is lunchtime, but y'all know that's when the 4-hour count will come. So, really Tuesday like it's gonna be some work. You gotta be extremely careful on Tuesday. I advise since we got this is a holiday week, y'all. I advise sizing down just a little bit. Just size down a little bit than you normally do, just in case of extreme volatility. Some people might, people trying to make a little money for Christmas. The market movers know that, so they definitely will try to give a couple fake outs. So be a lot more stingy with your capital, I'll say. But Tuesday definitely like it'd be a little work. We got a pretty much news scheduled pretty much the whole day. Maybe it can be all in the favor of one direction though. We'll have to see. Wednesday, Christmas Eve. It says early close at 1300, which should be 1 p.m. where I'm at. 7:30 we have durable goods also. 7:30, and initial jobless claims at 7:30. And then after that, we only got crude oil at 9:30. Really, y'all know how I feel with crude oil, so I'm not really too nervous with crude oil, but definitely the initial jobless claims and durable goods at 7:30 is nice to bring some volatility in the market. But it is before the market opens, so we won't be on the chart. We won't have to necessarily get affected by it unless we're in some options. More so, we just let the market open at 8:30, give it about 10-15 minutes, and see how the market want to react to the news that came out on 7:30. Then Thursday, which is Christmas, market is closed the whole day for the holiday. And then Friday, I guess Friday we don't have any news events because there wasn't none on the calendar. So Friday should just be a normal Friday. Expect some volatility just because it's the end of the week closing, and that weekly candle is trying to go its true direction. All right, so honestly, this week we pretty much every day is jam packed. And then of course Thursday we close. So every day I can expect some volatility this week. Now, going into the before we get into the chart, also we have no scheduled earnings this week. So we don't got an earnings calendar. Earnings calendar to look at. We got no scheduled earnings this week. So as of now, we don't have any. But yeah, let's get into the charts now. So like we said, we should be a nice volatile week. We should see the market moving whatever direction it wants to go. It should be definitely some movement too. I don't really see us consolidating this week. Not heavy. If we do consolidate, I definitely see like some range. You get what I'm saying? All right, but now let's get into the charts. SPY. Let's start off with it. Looking at let's first look at the weekly. So we just closed that weekly, and we're attempting to close this monthly. So we actually probably look at the month. Well, we got 9 more days to the monthly. Currently, it's green. So we did have a red previous month on SPY. This potentially can be setting us up for a higher low, for that uptrend to completely come intact. Because like we said, we had lower low, then we had higher high. Boom, red counter telling us we're making a low. This potential could be setting up for that new higher low. Uptrend being full force. If uptrend being full force, grab some longs and just hold them. I'm telling you. If we go break this 689 on this monthly, grab some longs. Well, actually, this is lower than 689. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see. Go to the daily. Maybe it's. I don't know why the heck this is off. We do got this adjusted thing on. Hold up. Maybe we. Oh, I think we didn't move the top. We didn't move this one, did we? Oh my goodness. What the heck? Adjust for dividends. We got it on, right? Yeah, it's selected. So if it's not selected, that means it's not adjusted, right? We just remove the drawings. But the high of the candle, give me 1 second, y'all. We gotta see if we want to have it on or off. I think we want it on. I believe that we want it on. Yeah, I believe we want it on. Alright, we gonna have it on. But like I said, for that monthly, we break this high of it's 687.67. We break that high. Like I said, I'm expecting them loans to really push, especially if we can close past. I believe we can really push possibly into them 700s, y'all. Here in the near future, definitely in them 700s, possibly up to the 715s. So be on the lookout. We make that higher high, had it as a higher low. Market can start building some structure to that upside nicely. Now, if we just sweep that high, fail to close above, might can see the consolidation, but it's definitely still will be our higher low. So even if it consolidate, when it start coming down, we can be looking for an entry back to the upside on that monthly. Now going down to that weekly. Of course, we got what? Higher high, higher low. We didn't make a new higher high just yet. Market did not make a new higher high just yet. We're waiting on that new higher high. Honestly, it's a little bit the monthly looks a lot more cleaner compared to the weekly. The monthly actually got that higher high, potentially higher low, higher high. The weekly won't be completed uptrend just yet. Like technically the overall is uptrend, but I'm talking about after making the lower low, we gotta make a higher high. Then what we gotta do? Make another higher low and another higher high. So, weekly still got some time. It still got some work to do. Let me see what it look like when I take this off. So make sure it ain't changing nothing. Okay. So weekly still got some more development to go, but we did close red for that previous week. So it told us that first week told us market was trying to make a low. It's still saying low, but if we can flip green this week, then we know, hey, what we're making highs. Main thing for the weekly, if we do flip green, or even if we just take this high over here at that 687.67, we take that high. We want to see market try to close above there to do the continuation to keep going up higher. Okay, daily. This is where we do our charting. So let's go ahead and get to it. Daily, we got what? Overall uptrend. This is our target. This high here at 687.67. We've been saying it on each time frame. Our last solidified level low is down here at 646.92. Go mark that out. All right. Do we got any gaps? Well, actually, we're gonna mark out the potential higher lows. Got one here at 648.93. And then we got another here since we just pushed green last Friday. We got another one here at 689.92. Potential higher lows. Okay, that's why they pink, not red just yet. We just gotta have them what come solidified by making a higher high. Now marking out our gaps. Marking out our gaps for potential entries. To respect this higher low here, we gotta bounce off of either one of these gaps. If we break that low, we got a gap down here to bounce off to go to the upside. We got another gap right here. Oh no, come on. Another gap sitting here. Of course, we got this big gap, but I'm not necessarily marking that one. Or will we rather mark that one instead of this one? Is this one inside of this? Yeah, this is inside it. So actually, we would rather mark this one since that gap is inside that gap. Alright, we mark that instead. So these the gaps we're gonna roll with. All we looking for is what, y'all? Potential entries to go long. What do we need? What's set up for the entry to go long? Need a break, retest, go higher. Not necessarily, not all the time we need that retest. Sometimes it can just be a break, low, then higher high that got a continuation. We can take it higher. But I prefer the retest of this gap. But even if we just get the structure, like we break above and we make an uptrend above this gap, hey, go higher, go higher. But that's what we look for. We look for a high, low, then that higher high. Then we can go in for them longs. Like we said, we can go above this gap or above this gap to try to respect this low. If we break that low, then we gotta do it at this gap or this gap. Okay. Now looking at the chart, like we said, overall is bullish. We did break broke into a bearish sentiment by making lower lows here. We broke these lows here. Switched to a bearish sentiment for that time being. Red candles told us, hey, we're looking for lows, look for lows, look for lows. Boom, we got our first green candle. It's told us what? We're looking for a high. Now, we made a lower low. That's the last thing we did. Made a lower low. Boom, we made some type of high. We don't know if it's gonna lead us to what, potentially making an uptrend to go to make a new higher high and end up making a higher high. Or would this be what? Boom, a lower high, and then we drop down, make that lower low, coming down to these next two gaps. So we're not 100% sure what's gonna happen just yet, because right now the market don't have a most recent trend. We just made a lower low. We didn't make any lower highs and then lower low. So we don't have a downtrend just yet. Then we currently not bullish because we just made a lower low. I mean, not an uptrend because we just made a lower low. So we're trying to see what the market want to do. What we're expecting for tomorrow at least, or potentially this week. This, like I said, this can be what we look for this week. Is what probably we already broke out. We may can see it keep breaking out. That's what I would like to see. Monday, I would like to see us push out a little bit further up. Then possibly maybe Tuesday come back and retest, and then Wednesday push up. Or it can be if we push up significantly on Monday, push up Tuesday give us our first red, Wednesday be that retest, and then it just had to be Friday because since we closed on Thursday, Friday had to be the one that pushes back up. Okay, but we want to see green candle. I want to see another green candle for Monday. Especially if I want to be bullish. If I want to be bearish, you will want to see a green candle for the you will want to see a green candle for the bears just so it can push up a little bit and give some more momentum for a harder drop. But you don't want it to be a crazy push up to the upside. If you want to be bearish, you want a slight push up. And then that very first red candle, you want this market to stay close to this gap as possible. So when that first red candle comes, there's a higher chance that it's gonna close back in or push through to switch back completely bearish. But all the bears looking for either closing sign this gap first. That's your first indication, and then your true confirmation to start looking to go bearish is a break below the gap. See that? And we want that break, retest, drop, or even with the close, if we just say we break the gap and we push into this other gap, that's a nice indication for the shorts too. So, shorts want us to be below that 676. Oh my goodness, my bad, y'all. This whole time I've been talking, y'all can't even see the levels. That's crazy. My bad, y'all. My bad. I literally just looked to the left and seen that y'all can't see it. But for the Bulls, we already above where we want to be. If you want to if you're looking for the market to start switching bullish, all you need is what market structure shift, start making an uptrend, and you can get in a loan. But we really want to take loans above the 680.10 level. That's our key line. That's our key level. 680.10 for the Bulls, gotta be above there. For the shorts, you could get a potential early entry below 680.10. But truly more confirmation for the shorts. You want to look for it to go below 676.47. Okay, that's pretty much all we looking for. Structure form above that gap. We looking for them longs. Structure form below here. Looking for potential shorts. I do like the long a little bit better because there's a little bit more space before we get to key levels or any gaps. Versus the short, it's kind of like, hey, we can look for that break retest, but it's these two gaps right next to each other. But like I said, this could be a new lower high. get in that short, especially if we get a red candle like just barely closing inside this gap. Get in the short, set at the top of that green candle, and let it try to go play out and go all the way down to 669. Okay. Going to QQQ. It'll be pretty much the same setup. QQQ. So see, yeah, my QQQ chart, right? Maybe I just didn't update my spot chart when we had pressed that ADJ thing on the side, just for dividends. If QQQ wasn't drawing up right. All right, so QQQ pretty much the same thing. Let's look at see what the weekly ended up closing. The weekly ended up closing red. Didn't it close red for a spy? Let me see. Yeah, close red for spy too. Okay, weekly close red. We had that red counter that told us, hey, market look for a low. Market look for a low. Is it going to lead us to a lower low? Make this downtrend go? Or will we make a higher low and start moving back to the upside? Well, we don't know just yet. Didn't make a lower low just yet. Didn't make a higher high just yet. This previous week we closed red, but we had a strong push back up. We had a strong push back up. Market definitely showed some type of rejection from the pushing to the downside, but it did close red, so we still potentially could be look for a low. Not until we get a green week tell us, hey, we're done. Look for a low. Look for that. Looking at that monthly, I should have went there first. The monthly right now is currently green. We do got 9 more days. If we can push past, we don't have to do it right now. If we close green this month and then the next month come green and we push past 637, want to see if we can close past to keep continue higher, possibly up to the 640, 650s. Okay. Now going to that daily. Looking at the daily, we do have market structure shift on QQQ. Other than like SPY, we don't have it because we had all red counters. QQQ, we actually got a higher high. Got a higher high. We got market structure shift on QQQ. Potential our solidify level on QQQ is all the way down at 577.88. Our target for the overall structure is 637.01. Potential higher lows, we got one at 580.74. And then we just made one last week when we just turned green on Friday. So we just made this one sitting at 628. Okay. 628. These are our potential new higher lows. Now, if we want to get an entry to go long, like we said, just made a higher high. You will want to see a higher low get made and then another higher high. Then that's that confirmation for an uptrend. We're moving in the uptrend. More likely we're trying to come take them highs once we do that confirmation. We could just see all green candles and come up there. We very well could see. But we would love to see a green, some red, and then make another higher high. Look for it to go take them highs over here at this 630 area. But like we said, Friday we closed green. We closed above this gap here. We could potentially see a retest, and then go higher. But I can say this: I do like how QQ pushed a little bit further from this gap. I do like that. A lot of times, if you want to be looking for the longs, like we said for SPY, we wanted to push a little higher up before it pulled back, because the closer we are to the gap, that first red counter more than likely gonna just come right back in. The further we are from the I don't know if I messed it up. The further we are from the gap, there's more space for that red counter to lose some steam before coming into there, or closing into there. Then we can push right back up. So I do like that. But it is super close to this big gap, so we very well could see us push up tomorrow and close actually in this gap on QQQ, and this be where we do break, retest, go higher to the other side of the gap. So I very well could see us pushing above the 618.42 level tomorrow. We just have to see. If you look for shorts though, what you want to see is either tap this, and then we close red, get our first red candle. It could potentially just go straight down to this gap, or we might do a retest again. and then drop. Or you want to see us get a red candle and fail to stay outside of this gap here, this daily gap at 615. You want to see us go below 615, possibly below that 611, and then break retest, take them shorts. It is a lot more gaps on QQQ, so you gotta be more careful with. Give me 1 second, my screen will shut off on me. Gotta be a little bit more careful with them shorts. Even shorts or longs. Gotta be more careful with it. Give me 1 second. The screen just turned off. Alright. But yeah, that's pretty much. If y'all want to join, literally just break and retest of any of these gaps. Even closing in here, I'll be a lot lighter on a QQQ trade if we actually close inside a gap. I still look for them longs if we get that structure above that line, above 618.33. We get a higher high, higher low, higher high. I still look for them longs, but I'll definitely be a lot lighter on my contract just because we're in a gap. You know, I usually like to trade outside of gaps. If we do it down here, I can get normal size, look for it to go up to that 618 level if we got in from 615. Then for the shorts, like we said, we want below 615 potentially down to 611, or below 611 down to 607, or even if we reject this gap here, take it from 618 down to 615. So that's all we're looking for. Okay. Going to ES. And I do gotta pick this up a little bit because it's a little bit late and I gotta get up in the morning. Going to ES. Looking at that, first look at the monthly. Monthly is red on ES. It's red on ES. Currently it is. So it's not quite there like how SPY and QQQ are with the green candles so far for the monthly. So, but it's still plenty of time. We got, like we said, we got 9 days left. It could flip green. End up setting us up to see, hey, will this be a higher low? This previous month if we close green. Going to that weekly. Close red, look pretty much equivalent to QQQ and SPY. We closed red that previous week. It told us we're looking for a low. This week we end up closing red also, but we pushed all the way back up. Okay. Really weekly, we need a green candle to tell us, hey, we're done looking for a low. So we still could be turning red this week. Daily. Looking at that daily. Overall uptrend. First target is 7,1175. Solidified level is at 657, 67.75. Our potential higher lows, 6,583. We did make some. We actually made ours on Thursday, so we could have updated this on Thursday. Another potential higher low was right here at 677. 6,771.50. All right, so those the two potential higher lows we got. Looking at the gaps, we already got the gaps marked out. Looking at Friday, what happened Friday? We end up closing above this gap here. What we could have expected, even though we see it currently, either a possible break. I told y'all same thing with SPY. It did break above this gap. We would like to see it push a little higher first before trying to get a red candle. Possibly pushing into this gap. But if it pushed into this gap, we want to see it stay up in the gap. If it didn't push into that gap, we wanted to see it go higher. Then when we finally get our red candle, retest and then go higher. But currently looking at this market, we closed green, closed above the gap. Like we said, we either need to break and retest of this gap, or we need to come close inside this gap to tell us, hey, we're not ready to go down here just yet. Potential entries, if you're looking for long. First, before we say we're looking for longs, we had a uptrend, then we broke it, made lower lows, and we gave that bearish sentiment. Not necessarily bearish trend just yet because we gotta have what, lower high, lower low. So it's not necessarily a trend yet. So we gotta wait. If you want to be bearish, you want a red candle to come in the mix to tell us, hey, it's time for us to start going down. Hopefully, you can make that lower low if you want to be bearish. If you want to be bullish, really all you doing is just getting in off the green candles. You prefer to get in after making a red candle. So you want to see a red candle come, then hey, that very next green candle, look for a long, as long as we don't take this low out. Okay. For ES though, for longs, honestly, if you want longs, you could get in some longs. Could get in some longs for continuation. But like I said, the best, the A+ setup is make a high, make some type of high. It don't have to go up here. I'm just drawing an example. Make a high, wait on the red candle, wait on the red candle, see how far down you want to go. And then that first green candle that comes back, look for that long, look for that long back to the highs. As long as we don't come take that solidified level out. Now, since we gapped up inside this gap, I do want to say that this is some potential entries. We gapped up inside this gap, above this 6904 level. We gapped up inside it. We could potentially see market, trying to stay and close inside this gap. I definitely can see that potentially. So when we come down here to 60, I said 6904. That was my bad. That was the current price. This gap is at 68.99. So when we see market come down here to that 68.99 area, we potentially might, if we can see market structure shift on lower time frame and start making a higher high, higher low, that once we come down here, we definitely can see market, switching back bullish and trying to close inside this gap. So honestly, that'd be possibly an entry for tomorrow. Once we tap this bottom of this gap, look for what, an uptrend to form. The uptrend start forming above this level, this gap, bottom of the gap. Definitely look for a long, take out these highs. Okay, so that's a potential. This will be a potential entry to go long tomorrow. But we have to, first we gotta touch the bottom of the gap. Show us that, hey, we're not looking to close below it or nothing like that. Okay. That's a potential issue, but tomorrow, as of right now, it's under, you can't really judge, but I'll say I'm more leaning to be bullish tomorrow just because, like we said, we open inside this gap. We might be trying to hold inside this gap and stay inside it. But I definitely wanted to pull closer to the bottom of the gap. Then I'll look for a long then. If it just flush straight out the gap and start building structure below, we just pushing down, then hey, maybe it's just coming down to this gap. The loans, we really don't want the loans below that 6,889 level. We really don't want no loans below there. Shorts, you do want it to go below that. You want it to go below 6,800, 6,889, I mean. Or 98, what it was, my bad. 6,898. You want it to go below there, retest, make a lower low, then get them shorts. Alright. Now, going to NQ. Should be pretty much the same as ES and all of them. Let's delete some of these lines. I really don't want to redo drawings, so we're just gonna try to delete these lines one by one. I really don't want to delete all the drawings right now because, like I said, it's kind of late. Kind of want to get on up off these charts as soon as possible. Okay, I think that's it. Delete these alerts. We can keep this. We're gonna make a line there. Alright, I think that's it. Now, looking at NQ daily, same thing as QQQ. We made a higher high. Made a higher high. I told y'all QQQ, we could see it just keep pushing up, going to the next gap. ES showing us, hey, we potentially is gonna keep moving up. You know, have QQQ gapping up tomorrow morning. Of course, there's way more gaps on NQ than ES, so you gotta be a little bit more cautious with these trades. My bad, I jumped to another chart. You gotta be a little bit more cautious with these trades. There's way more gaps, way more blockage. Okay. But looking at this daily, we opened up inside this gap here. Above the 2500, 600, 25,600 level. Honestly, currently where it's in, you don't want to take no type of trade. But to go long, kind of want to see it come pull back down a little bit more, come back closer to the bottom of the gap. Come possibly touch the bottom of the gap, then give us that uptrend to go long. So we kind of wanted to actually come down here in order to go long. This is on lower time frame to go long, not on the daily. I'm talking about. If we don't like the 1 hour, we wanted to come down there and make a higher high, higher low, make an uptrend. But if we look at the daily, what you want to see for the daily, you want to see, honestly, you just want to see a break above. You really don't want to see no red candles for this daily. On NQ, just because there's so many gaps, you really kind of don't want to see no red candles. But if you do see any red candles for NQ, you want it to be inside of the gap. We would like to see what green possibly come up here. It can come to the top of the gap, green again on Tuesday. And then, hey, when we get our first red candle, let it stay inside this gap. And then that next green candle we got should push us outside the gap, lead us to going outside the gap, take them longs, and go aim for the top. The next gap we got, okay. So really don't want to see no red candles closing below any gaps though. On NQ, if you're looking to go long, don't want us to close below 25,600. And you don't want us to break out here and close back inside the gap. So if we get that red candle, we wanted to stay inside of here, inside of this box. Okay. Shorts, you do want that close below, of course. So we'll draw that up. Shorts, you definitely want that close below. You can take it all the way back down to this 25,413 level. Honestly, not really no short. I really don't like shorts up here unless we get like a slight closer pass, and then the next candle close red back inside. Then that's maybe a short entry. I really don't like shorts up there at the 25,728 level. It's a little bit more not as clean on NQ for the longs, I'll say. Now going over to MNQ, the same thing. It's just smaller contracts. So I do that in the morning. Going over to, let's go to MYM real quick. MYM, looking at this daily. Well, let's look at the weekly first. Weekly we closed red. NYM is completely uptrend. Completely uptrend overall. We did make a lower low. So then we made lower low, higher highs in the same setup as ES and NQ and SPY, all of them. It's made a lower low, made a higher high. It's trying to see, can we make a higher low potentially? But that last week was red, so we could keep dropping. You know, we could keep going lower because hey, red says what we're looking for a low. Not until we get a green week, then we know we're trying to move back up. That daily, we've been slowly, steadily making uptrend. We got the uptrend for the daily. We just need it for the weekly. Overall, trend is what? Bullish. Target high all the way up here at 49,291. Okay. Last solidified level sitting down here at 46,150. 46,150. All right. Our potential higher lows. We got one here We got one here. Then we got one here. Okay. My bad. I should change the color. Change the colors to light pink. Okay. Gaps. Any gaps we got? Add there. Got one down here. I think that's all we're gonna use. We're gonna make this. We want to put this real big one. I think so. Nah, we don't want that real big one. We do this one instead. Alright. That's all we're gonna have so far. Now, oh yeah, we got this one above. For MYM. What we looking for? Daily. Last Friday we closed green. We failed to close inside this fair value gap. So we do expect what? Some type of pullback. Then possibly try to go back up to try to see if we can close inside there. Well, we're currently doing that pullback. All we need to mark is what? Start moving back up, making an uptrend on lower time frame. Take it back up to this gap. See if we can close inside it the next time. Honestly, MYM, I expect us really to close green tomorrow. If we do close red, it will be a shocker to me. I ain't gonna lie. So I do expect us to close green tomorrow, or at least push green. Come retest this gap. I'll say. I do expect us to retest that gap. Sometime this week. Really, I think tomorrow we should be green. Possibly retest it tomorrow. What we want to do if we want to go long, honestly, it's already in an uptrend on MYM. So technically, you can already been in a long currently. Could already been in a long. Really don't have to wait on a red and green because it been an uptrend. It been an uptrend already. Really want to see market. Biggest thing for MYM, once we get up here to that 48,905 level, we really want to see market structure building a trend above that level. That's our real key level that we're looking for. Really want to see that form. But down here currently where we at, like we said, if it do close red, I don't really. If we do close red, then you gotta wait on the higher high to come. But I really should be expecting this to. I'm more leaning to, hey, this should be turning green to keep pushing higher. But if it does close red, we're not going to be upset. We're gonna let it close red. More than likely, if it close red, that next day gonna also close red. So say Monday close red, Tuesday probably gonna close red. Wednesday might be that first green candle back. Or Wednesday can be a red candle and Friday be that first green candle back. And that very first green candle back we get, as long as we don't take 48,127, we take the loans, aim for this high. Now it might not go get all the way up there in one day. But that's our ultimate aim. So say Friday Friday we turn green. That Monday we come back, go on them loans. Just follow the loans until we get to that target high. Or break a solidified level. Okay. So MYM, honestly, if we do close red, that's the only time we need a higher high to get made. If we don't close red, I think we just should be pushing straight up, trying to come back to this previous high that we couldn't build structure above. Alright, and then we're gonna go over CrowdStrike. I think it's getting pretty late. Go over CrowdStrike. Let's see. Actually, you know what? We gonna say the stocks. No, we'll do the stock. We'll do it. It's fine. We already up late. It is what it is. Alright. I know this looking a hot mess, man. It's looking a hot mess. We gonna get it. We gonna get this cleared up. Give me a second. Give me a quick second. Yeah, delete everything. Delete all that. Alright. We can delete this one for now because we're not currently nowhere near up there. So we can delete that. Can't delete this because we already came below here. Can delete this one too. Got a lot of stuff we can delete. Look at it. It's clearing up just like that. Magic. Alright. Going to CrowdStrike. Looking at that weekly, man. Honestly, that weekly been beautiful for us. We had that break back below this weekly gap. Got our break. We don't got a retest of the gap though. We didn't get another retest, so still gotta be cautious of that if we can't close below this low here. At 469. If we can't close below there for the continuation, be on the lookout for that potential retest back up to this weekly gap. I wouldn't want us to retest it that high. We done pushed down so far. This far so far. So I kind of want just if we do pull back, just be slight, possibly up to like 489, 490, and then drop right back down. But looking at the weekly, we close red. Tells us what? Red count tells us what? It's look for a low. It made a lower low. We completely made a downtrend. Currently, right here. Right here, we made a complete downtrend. Really want to see, can we come down here and take this low here? That's the biggest thing I want to see. Can we take this low here? We did fail. This previous week did fail to close below this previous week's low. So this could potentially be where we bounce to start pushing back to the upside and going back up to that 529 level. So you gotta be careful. Be careful, but watch it closely. This is a key area right here for CrowdStrike. Watch it closely. Look on them lower time frames. And see what is that market structure doing right here in this range. I'll say between this, honestly, like we said, between that no higher than 490 and we wanted the lowest point that we're looking to key in on is that 475 low. So this that key range right here. This is like the golden zone between 490 and 475. That's that golden zone. We want structure. We want to watch whatever that structure doing within this range. Okay. Because if it switch, structure start turning bullish, and we get that start pushing past 490, I definitely expect us to come to 510 to retest this gap, possibly come up here back to the 530. If we go down to that 475 level and we in bearish trend on the lower time frames, it might be able to start breakout all the way down to that 460, get out of that retest, and then we can do that drop that y'all see I got drawn here. Now, going to that daily though, let's look at the daily. That's just my overall weekly thought. Going to the daily, what do we see? So we did come down here actually. We came down here. Like we said, we took these shorts. But we pushed back up. We got all the way up to that 489 level that I was talking about. I didn't even look at it on Friday. We got all the way up to that 489 level. So honestly, whatever this structure start forming, if we close back red and make that lower low, I definitely see us pushing down to the 460. If we make a low, then green, probably gonna consolidate. If we just be only green, and we close above that 491 level, not necessarily straight longs, but we need to close above, and then we need that market structure to make an uptrend. Once an uptrend comes above 491, then I say longs up to that 510 level. Okay, and honestly, that's all I'm looking for CrowdStrike. So let's draw that up real quick. So break, boom. Then we take the longs. So we gonna put that drawing on there. Long stop will be about right there. Okay. For the shorts, like we said, all we need is just make a lower low. Honestly, we just need to make a lower low. Really wanted to close below 469 though. If we make that lower low, yeah, we kind of wanted to close below 469, and then we could take it down to 460, and then potentially if it don't just straight push past 460 and let it pull back, and that next red again, take it back down again, okay, and that should be the breakout. But this is what we want for the shorts. Right there. And like we said, if it gives that retest, then that's when we can aim further down. Okay. All right. So that's what we want for CrowdStrike. Shoot. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting tired, y'all. We might call it. Yeah, we're gonna go and call it. I'll do some more potentially tomorrow. Uh future wise, we're gonna start probably on taking 1 or 2 trades future wise, so we will be able to start looking at our option charts a little bit more. As y'all, if y'all was on the back test yesterday, even though I had brain fog, and that's what I should have said at the beginning of the stream. I forgot to tell y'all that. Cause I said I was gonna tell y'all today. Yesterday we had brain fog a little bit. Really, the past like Thursday, Friday, yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Cause I was, of course, I was doing something. I had did me a 3-day fast. And it kind of fogged my brain up. I ain't gonna lie, it fogged my brain up a little bit, but it gave me spiritual clarity. Um, and health wise, it gave me clarity too. Um, but yeah, trading wise, it definitely had me getting lost here and there. So if you watch that back, if you watch that back test video from yesterday, I'm sorry, man. I was in a brain fog. I was knowing what I was doing, but then I get lost and change the subject. I still clearing up a little bit because I'm just now, replenishing the body and everything. But um, hopefully the brain fog will be completely gone tomorrow. Um, but what I was saying was, if we looked at the back test from um yesterday, I told y'all on the back test, I said, hey, we ended up kind of breaking even this week. We kind of we did come off positive for the week when it came to futures. Options, we was 100% positive. Nice moves for options, but because we took them shorts on CrowdStrike. But future wise, we kind of broke even last week. Um, and that was due to over trading. Only reason we over traded, it wasn't necessarily that we was trying to be greedy with money. It was that we wasn't letting our trades play all the way out. That was the biggest thing. We were moving stop loss a little bit too soon, getting stopped out, and then it's going straight to our target. But the thing is, y'all know I don't move my stop loss in the negative. I only move it in the positive. So yeah, we was getting stopped out and still making money, but we definitely could have made more than we have and took way less trades. Of course, I don't go over money all the time and stuff like that, but last week we put maybe about 300 futures. We took about 15 or 17 trades. Um, this week, yes, it was a little hectic because of the top step situation and all that, but still no excuse. We still could have been patient and stuff, let trades play out. But we took about 15, 17 trades due to us getting stopped out too early in our trades. We had to jump back in. Um, instead of just taking that trade and letting it play out. We did the back test, and when we did the back test, we only had 2 entries the whole week. Based off our strategy, there was only 2 potential entries that whole week. But them 2 entries we took, we won them both, and we ended up closing that week at $800. Um, and it just showed me like, hey, let the trade, go all the way through. All of this, sometimes we get out our whack. Like I know my strategy. I did trade my strategy. Like I said, we still made money. Like we just was getting kicked out trades too soon. And had taken way more trades than normal, or more than we should have. Like I said, we took 15 to 17 trades, made $300 versus when I did my back test, did the exact same strategy and everything, but I just let it either hit TP or stop loss. We made 800 with just 2 trades. So I'm definitely going to start taking less trades, letting it go to actual TPs and stop losses. Now, unless like I said, unless we start making higher lows and stuff on that time frame, I was looking for the trade. So we have more time to be on the options, more time to look at our option trade, see what we're looking for, give analysis for it, because more than likely the future trades we're gonna get in it, let it play out, and yeah, that's it. So y'all be on the lookout for that this week. Like I said, I did this analysis today. I know last week I said I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream this week. I think I am going to stream this week. But y'all don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. I'm not too sure. I think I am going to record it though this week. So y'all be on the lookout. Had a notification bell on if I do or don't. But y'all have a good one. Trade safe this week. Have a good Christmas. Merry Christmas if I don't make another stream this week. But yeah, y'all have a good one. The boy Keith is out.